episode 111 of the Battlecast podcast. I'm your host, Peng, joined by my co-host, Speedy Chief 2, and our fellow friends from DracoViz, Anicor and PolymersUp for our second episode with them. How are y'all doing?
Yo.
Doing good.
Well, Polly's definitely doing good for the people tuning in to YouTube. He's moisturized in his lane, flourishing.
Yeah, hopefully you got the SPF on that sunscreen.
Yeah, bro.
I try to find a shaded spot. Yeah.
For those that don't know, Polly actually he's a nomad. He travels around the world.
True. Nothing but a backpack.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if he ever beats you in GBL, man, he's playing out like 1 bar of data at best, right? Sometimes he's got the SOS coming up on his phone.
He still does his charge move mini games how it used to happen, you know.
Yeah, just tap as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Just press hard to get those bubbles activated.
You just got beat by somebody playing on 3G, basically. Nice.
Anyway, so we're recording this podcast a little bit on the early side, but myself and Speedish Chief will be in Japan when this podcast comes out, and we got Japan things to do at that time. Obviously, by the time y'all hear this, you'll know where the two of us are commentating. So no Bastion from me at Worlds. We might have a Bastion from Rob Jogo. My prediction is there might be more than one person bring Bastion because we're in a Shadow Charizard meta at the moment, but we can talk more about that as we come along. But we're recording this ahead of time. But if you're listening in to this live, Worlds is happening in a day and a half or even less, depending on when you hear this. So it's going to be good. We don't know who wins Worlds yet. Well, obviously we don't because we're in the past, but we definitely don't, even if you're listening live. Yeah. So to get started,
let's say now it just sounds suspicious. It sounds like we do know.
I don't know. You want me to grab a newspaper, like show the date?
Show us proof.
Yeah, I've been carrying this newspaper around for 5 weeks. I'm waiting for this moment. For those that don't know, let's do some quick intros of what is even DracoViz. Maybe we'll start off with Anicor and pass it off to Polly as well, because we had a previous episode. I think it was episode 197 or something. It was 90 something. It was in the high 90s.
Yeah.
97 or 98 with DracoViz, the first one, where we introduced them. But if you don't know who DracoViz are, or what even is a DracoViz,
DracoViz.
Yeah, Dracometrics.
Yeah, so DracoViz, we're a group of people who essentially, like, at the core, we're just trying to bring like more value to the PvP scene in things that we're interested in, so we feel like because we're interested in it, the player base will be as well. So particularly championship series stuff. So we've been covering regionals, internationals, all the players who are qualifying, usage stats, team data, everything that you'd want as a fan of the game, as like a competitor, as a potential competitor, and I don't know, we feel like there was a gap for all that sort of stuff, especially as a developing game. Like a lot of games usually have that sort of information going around. So we've really been trying to do that over the last few months. I think it's been going really good. It's going really well. Polly, do you want to add?
No, yeah, I think that's we just want to build resources and tools to help the community, help champion, play Pokemon. We think that is the ultimate expression of like where the community can come together, and celebrate the game, and celebrate at least one of the aspects of the game that we all enjoy the most in PvP. And it's just awesome to see whether we're watching on stream or at home or able to make it out to an event in person. Yeah, we just want to sort of champion those moments, and so that's sort of the core of it. And we started building out other resources too to help other battlers, or help battlers in other PvP related areas, like doing some GBL graphics here and there, and might add some general PvP content, just to help people who are looking to get into PvP. I think fostering that community, and also providing tools for new players as well to get into the game is something we're excited to help contribute to. There's a lot of great resources and tools already in the community as well. So.
Yeah, I think as a competitor as well, it's been super helpful. And I know a lot of the competitors, especially high level competitors too, that make like day 2 top cut and stuff, because you could pull up the graphics from like it's the easiest way, in my opinion, to find the teams that are going to be you're going to be facing the next day, right? You just pull it up and be like, hey, oh, this is what my opponents are running. So like sometimes if I'm scrimming with my teammates, for like day number 2, I'll just send them DracoViz graphic and be like, yeah, this is the team, right? I'm not gonna type out all 6 Pokemon they have, right? And look it up. So it's been really helpful, but also not even just in our region, but also other regions too. I think I was talking to some people and they're like how many people were in the India qualifier, right? Or the Japan qualifier, or or like South Korea or the South Asia qualifiers and stuff. I was like, oh, well, here are the numbers. Here's the total amount, right? I was like, this is pretty impressive. Like 171 in India. That's one of the biggest tournaments, right, that we have around the world. And only 2 competitors from that. And I was specifically looking at India because we're talking about how strong a lot of the Indian players are these days. If anyone's following World's factions too, so
I want to add actually on the region thing. I think that's like I think it's a pretty important part of what we're doing at the moment, because with I want to take like VGC as an example. So with VGC, you obviously have players from all around the world as well, and you tend to get a lot of unique ideas that are bred in certain regions, like in Japan, in Korea, that end up making its way to the other part of the world, and then you get this sort of like idea building where then people adapt it for like their format, and then it goes back and forth, and as a result, you get like really good metagame developments. You get really good like relationships with players from different regions, and we haven't really quite had that in Go quite yet. But I think this is now starting, like starting with this this year's Worlds. Obviously, we've got players from way more different regions than last year, and then going into next year, I feel like we're slowly getting to that point where all the regions are a bit more interconnected, a bit more like aware of each other, and as a result, like slowly, building ideas off each other and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think even going to Worlds this year too, we're like we're thinking about like who to watch out for, right? We don't know a ton of like players maybe from Japan, but we're thinking like, oh, Crescent Angels was at Japan, right, last year, and he did really well. Or Golden Hada, right, a player from Korea, South Korea, that went and got 2nd place, right? So we have like some names, and I think after this upcoming weekend, like there's going to be even more names, burned into our brains and memories of like some of these top tier players that we've only currently seen mostly through just like the results pages, right?
Yeah, and if you recall back to Worlds last year, I think the last North American still in the competition was Axon. I think he finished either 7th or 8th place at Worlds last year. And like Caleb said, exactly those 2 names, Crescent Angels, Golden Hada, really stood out to us. And I think that DracoViz has done like a wonderful job of lifting the veil and showing these other teams from across the world, because there is no central Pokemon Go database. There is no place where trainers can just go and do their team research and find these metrics and learn about the other regions. And to your point as well, Anicor, I feel like Shadow Charizard from Human Ketcherbug making its way to the US. It took us a few months. We finally learned how to play it. And then Shadow Sableye from Europe, that never really caught on as an export from Europe, right? But then Dunsparce limited success. I think, again, like it, in my mind, the question is always like, does the content come first, or does the game actually lend itself to creating more content? And I feel like if people aren't making this, then they don't know that they need it. And you guys are feeling a need, like Steve Jobs said once, people don't know what they want until they see it. And once you see DracoViz, like for myself, I've seen so many different resources that you guys have posted on there. I've compiled a lot of it into my own notes. I wouldn't know that I needed it unless you guys made it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
I feel like also since our last episode, I can't remember what was happening. I think it was like shortly after EUIC was when we had you all on. So you just make some graphics. We're looking at the website. You kind of like almost like explaining to us how the website even worked. Um, but yeah, let's talk about what have you all been up to since then, right? For those that did hear that podcast, but don't know what's been going on since then. Maybe they follow you on Twitter, but maybe miss out on some stuff. I just off the top of my head, I see you all been using Twitter Spaces, which is pretty cool. I've been a guest on one of those as well and listening on some of them. And there's actually VODs for them now too, so you can catch up on any you miss. You all are covering stuff on factions, and then even GBL graphics and stuff. And it seems like you all even like partner with some creators like Dronkis as well.
Yep.
And maybe some other creators to help some of the stuff. So yeah, like share with us some of the stuff. Be as unhumble as you can be here.
Yeah, brag. Come on and brag.
I'll let Polly go first because I fully intend to be unhumble. So.
Yeah. I mean, this week we released some GBL team graphics in a collaboration with Yonkis. So like, I'm really excited to work with him. You know, he's like obviously a great YouTube content creator. And yeah, I would always lean on his videos as sort of a resource anyways, and so it just made a lot of sense to sort of reach out to him, see if we wanted to start having, conversations, about team building and such, and partner more, I guess, officially. And so, so that's been really good. Looking forward to doing that more in the future. And I think, I'm really excited to do some general like PvP content too in the future. Just some like ideas that I have for like graphics that like I think would be useful for or helpful for the community. Good teaching tools. I like to try to think about like how to represent things graphically, in a way that can be easier for people to either interpret data or also like learn a little bit more about the game. As well. And so, that. And then, I think Twitter Spaces has been awesome, but I'll let Anicor talk about that. But yeah, it's been really cool to see some of the dialogue extend past regionals and carry over into some of these Twitter Spaces. Anicor, if you want to touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah, so funnily enough, actually, the Twitter Spaces started because so before PJCS, I sat down with like a load of Japanese players, and I was just asking them questions. I wanted to do an article around the Japanese PvP scene, just so we can have a bit more insight into what we already know. Because what we already knew at that point was pretty much just they're always at the top of the leaderboards and Crescent Angels. Like, let's be honest, isn't it? Yeah, like that's all pretty much anyone knew. So it was a really interesting discussion. Like, if anyone wants to see it, there's a blog section on our website, and we've got a few posts there where you can have a read. And they were also discussing like some of the like how Twitter seems to be like a main location for the player base to congregate. And I noticed they use Twitter Spaces a lot, and they were discussing it as well. And I was just thinking, I was just like, what? Why? We could do it as well, And I think what's been really cool about the Twitter Spaces is a couple of things. One, I can sometimes put zero prep into it and still go live, which is cool. It is at least cool for now. But you also, you can have really dynamic interaction with your audience, because obviously it's live, as opposed to like pre-recorded. So, sometimes we've had people come on to just say little bits and give their like opinion. It kind of feels like a radio show. But I think some of the best things that have come out of it is one, just like some of the topics we're covering. So, like you said, we've been covering some Sylph faction stuff, which is it's not specifically the focus of like obviously we're focusing mainly on like championship series stuff, but I feel like it would be a miss if we didn't cover that stuff, just because it's kind of exciting. It's good. It's things that like, the PvP community in general are interested in. And then also a lot of the people who are competing will be competing in Worlds. So it gives us another opportunity to kind of like, see what they can do before Worlds happens, right? So that's been kind of cool because it means, like people have somewhere to like engage and like discuss that sort of stuff. But then also the kind of people we've been having on. So I feel like we've been, at least how we've been trying to do it is, bring a variety of people on, but also give people a platform to, like tell their side, whether it's like representing their team. We a few weeks back we had an episode with 2 Brazilian teams, and that was super interesting as well because again, like the Brazilian scene is huge, and up until this season, with like a lot of the Brazilian regionals and stuff, we haven't had too much exposure to them in some of the other regions. Like at least from my perspective, like a European perspective, we haven't had. And so having them on, having them like talk about their teams and like how it worked out and stuff like that. And again, like these are some of the people who will be playing in a few days in Worlds. So yeah, I think it's important to know everyone who's playing in Worlds, and I think this is like another avenue to give them that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And it also like this month is pretty much like a break month from the Play Pokemon stuff too. So the fact that Worlds factions is happening during this month is kind of perfect, right? It's great content to kind of tie things over. And really, I just love seeing how wrong Amanda Lumberger is on all her predictions for the EU teams for Worlds. I'm just saying, she was
week after
riding
week, man. She's
dude,
like
the first region in the world to get completely eliminated from Worlds factions.
Oh,
so,
man.
no disrespect on the Europeans. I mean, obviously our 2 reigning champions, Guido and Robert from here, but don't underestimate the other regions, especially India. Dude, it's not even APAC left. It's just 3 Indian teams from APAC. Like, that's wild. Tied for the most amount of teams from a specific region with NA. 3, but 3 just from one country.
You mentioned all the serious, wholesome things, Anicor, but you forgot the drama. The drama, man. People, trash talking and saying which region is better. There's so much content with factions, right?
Yeah, we're not like strictly promoting that, but we're like technically enabling it. Like
it just happens.
It's like purposely writing a typo in a tweet and letting comment and help it trend. I'm like, I'm just going to set up a poll between these 2 players. Teams, right?
No input by me. This is your opinion.
This is Indian team versus Stadium Elite Gold, right? No big deal. Let's see what happens, right?
Gotcha.
Good stuff. It's cool to see all the developments you all have been doing over the past few months too, since we last recorded, because it's really been taking off. I think like one of the first Twitter spaces, I just hopped in. I was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Wait, this is kind of cool, right?"
Yeah, it's like a town hall.
Yeah, exactly. And you can comment, you can like kind of like talk smack and banter with people. People can request to join in and talk, right? It's like kind of like a radio show, like you just call in, right? Call in.
Yeah.
And again, this is also like a lot of these things, I guess, in our mind, like up until Worlds, like a lot of the things we're doing are sort of, it's almost like beta, where we're just like trying out different things, like Polly's trying out like, different like graphic formats and stuff like that. And, we're hoping like from next season, we'll like solidify a lot of these things where they'll just become like, staples in the calendar. Do you know what I mean? And, you have your regional, and then you have your Twitter spaces, and you have like the graphic come on, that sort of stuff.
Definitely. Y'all working around the clock.
I was gonna say, like, in our rubric here for the episode, there's so many different factors and facets that you guys are working on. I just want to say, organizationally, I'm really impressed with the team. I'm really impressed that you guys can get the team graphics from these regions that are a bit underserved. You actually can host the Twitter spaces. You can cover factions. You can cover all these things. And Polly's over there just churning out graphics like he's a factory or something. It's really amazing. I wanted to ask you guys, this question isn't on our sheet here, but I know Worlds is coming up in just a day or two. I just wanted to ask you guys, speaking to next season, what are you looking forward to the most? Is there anything you're really excited to start covering? Are you going to start covering locals? Because that seems like a whole nother batch of work to do, but it seems like the future of next season.
Oh,
I think tracking.
I've thought about this. But so.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think tracking championship points, and obviously we don't know how that's all gonna get integrated, right? But assuming it looks somewhat similar to like the other games, tracking championship points will be like another thing potentially worth mentioning. How that ties into like potential travel awards and things like that. I think that'll be like a big thing. Looking at like local metas though, that I don't know how much will that sounds like that would be a lot. What were you gonna say though?
Well, do you know, I think the locals could be kind of cool because again, like a lot of I think a lot of the championship series like ideas, for me, like I think back to like when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh like ages ago, and like a lot of these things were already established there, and you used to get people doing deck list videos when they just won their locals, isn't it? Yeah, and obviously it's not gonna like shape the meta or anything, but they might have used like a really interesting tech card that all of a sudden everyone's like, yo, I didn't even think of this, So obviously we're not, necessarily saying that the local teams are going to be, like you should really focus on them, but, being able to find like maybe the top one or two teams from each local and being like, yo, by the way, this was the top one of teams of each local, and could be interesting in developing the meta. And then also we discussed, like going into next season, there's no doubt there's going to be a lot of people hosting like practice OGL tournaments, large ones, especially after seeing this year the biggest Worlds. And maybe covering some of those, again, not in like a strictly official, like, making graphics or anything like that, but more of like, maybe just making a blog post and being like, look, these are the usage numbers of this, 70 player tournament. It looks kind of interesting, and then, maybe some of these ideas get picked up, maybe they get used in tournaments, maybe they don't. But I think at least having people aware of them can really, really lend to the, the official tournaments.
Yeah, my mind goes to Inadequences tournaments, right? Is that what you're going to say as well, Caleb?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, also not only that, but like I feel like his tournaments, but especially the ones that happen right after a meta shift, everyone's looking up, right? Even if you're not playing it, you'd be like, yo, I want to look at the results, see what the top players are using for their practice teams, right? Because, that's what, like, especially after like the new GBL season starts, like this past season, everyone's trying to figure out like, is Trevenant really just dead in the water, right? Or like whatever, like what's really good? Is Quagsire as good as it seems? Lone Sand Slash, stuff like that. I was gonna say for the locals too. I mean, it's gonna be interesting how it goes. But also, I need LA to do whatever they're doing in Arizona, right? Because everybody has local, like,
right?
Day. Like everyone
everybody's
from
looking
Arizona,
at Arizona.
Dude, everyone that lives in Arizona got a travel award to NAIC. I feel like, they definitely farming those local points.
I've been thinking about it a little bit. I think a good step would be to try to assemble like a loose network of tournament organizers from each region and just have them submit all the team data to you. Make it like their responsibility, delegate it out, and then just send it all to you in one pack, maybe like in an Excel sheet or something. And then you can that would cut down the work for you. But I think it's also important for like scheduling purposes, so people know where these local tournaments are. I think getting some kind of season-long roadmap. So like, oh, I'm going to be in Arizona for a conference next week. I'll stop by and I'll battle JJan, right? Like that could be a thing.
Dude, if you're in Arizona for like half an hour, you can find a tournament. I feel like.
I feel like you're right.
Yeah. So for the local tournaments, I was talking to my local organizer, and they said specifically that the rule from I think TBCI is that you can only host one local tournament at each specific like card shop or wherever, right? At location. So, but in Arizona, essentially what they have is they have multiple different hosting locations, so that's why they can have multiple a month.
Right.
So I think that's going to be an
Right.
interesting factor. I think it's interesting because from what I hear, if I'm not mistaken, in Arizona, at least maybe not all of the tournaments, but a good chunk of them are hosted by the same like judges and organizers, but they're just using different like card shops and venues.
That makes sense.
So so it's gonna be interesting to see how that shapes up too. But yeah, I mean that could be good. We'll see kind of how that turns about. I mean, at this current time, we don't know if there's going to be like the same qualification for Worlds next year, right? Is it going to be still top 2/top 4 for internationals, or is it going to be a championship point base or like a hybrid, right? We don't really know that right now. The only championship points we used was from North America just for travel awards to NAIC, but
right,
you never know. Yeah, I mean, even for the travel award, it's nice. You get some of your plane and lodging covered, but
pretty sick.
it'd be nice if you get some championship points too, because it's not easy getting that top 2/top 4 spot, right? Some really good battles in the world still haven't qualified for Worlds this year because of that. So
but definitely. I think I'd like to see a hybrid, honestly, but I'm sure they're gonna make some. I'm sure like as Go transitions, the people there are gonna make great decisions on how to integrate it into our game. But touching back on like what Speedy was talking about, because I guess the last time we were on, some of the APAC events were had just started, but that's actually been something that I've really enjoyed a lot of, is being able to sort of our ability to cover those as well as I feel like we have, and provide that for the community as a whole, but also connect these communities. I feel like in a lot of ways, a lot of our coverage sometimes tends to be region specific, or we know the most about our region, which totally makes sense. But connecting these different communities and making it more of a global community, even more so, is I feel like something that we've been able to, I think, contribute towards in a positive way with our coverage, and I think that's been really awesome to see. I've really enjoyed interacting with a lot of people, from all the APAC communities and LATAM community as well, and I really hope. Talking about looking forward to next season, I really hope that we get to see more qualifying spots for like the India tournament. There was just like a massive number, right? And we see in factions like how many people qualify. I think Caleb raised that on Twitter as well. Like I think that's just I'd really like to see some of the qualifying spots for some of those APAC events be more so tied to like, I guess, total number of participants a little bit more, or there to be at least a little flexibility there, to where India could get some more spots. And then I hope Latin America gets more events as well, because there's such a vibrant, and a massive community down there. And I feel like there's just, if you look at number of events, but also the cap for the events, those events, they tend to be like capped like a lot lower. And I understand there's venue related things and all that, but I would just like to see more opportunities for people to where, they don't go to try to register and they just sort of missed out because, they weren't quick enough. I hopefully, we see more of that and going into next season too. I know some of that's, probably in the works for future seasons, and maybe difficult to accomplish all that in one season, but
yeah. LATAM wise, like it was so close to looking good, because like towards the end of the season they announced like a load of special events in like a majority of countries, but then they ended up only being VGC and TCG.
Oh,
And I was
I
like,
didn't
that's
realize
such a
that.
disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like one in
Wait, that's
Colombia,
wild.
one in Argentina. Yeah, I know. And I was like, that was the opportunity you needed,
Yeah.
So in the end, we got all these Brazilian regionals, one Chile and one Mexico, and that was it.
Exactly.
They have one in Argentina or no?
Nah.
They didn't.
No.
Okay.
They had a Sylph tournament in Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. The
Yeah.
Silk
Battle
tournament
Tower.
was
Yep.
Yeah. Bro, there you go in it, and there was like what 150 people there.
Yeah.
Like
Easily.
Yeah.
I really sincerely hope that Niantic and DPCI expand into Latin America next season, because if you look at like Swagron's community day videos and photos, there's like 200 people behind him.
Dude,
People really love it, and it's interesting too as a region, because whereas a lot of other regions maybe are console based, right? Like a Nintendo Switch is much easier to get in the US or Europe. Mobile phones are nearly ubiquitous in a lot of areas in Latin America, and I feel like that's the Pokemon game that those trainers choose, and that's what they're mostly committed to. So the player base is very large, and a contrary, right, which is kind of like an inverse of what you were saying earlier about the special events. I think Pokemon Go would probably do better in Latin America than TCG or VG. I mean, maybe that's controversial to say.
No, I don't think it's controversial at all. I don't know about TCG, but I think I spoke to Gabby about it, our VGC and Go co-caster, and she was like, yeah, getting a Switch in Latin America and like as well as like India, some APAC regions is much harder, which is why like I think like proportionally speaking, there are more Go players. Maybe not as many, but like compared to the other regions, the percentage is way higher, right? Compared to VGC and TCG. Yeah.
Import taxes are insane. Like they can double or triple the price of the Switch if you order it in like Argentina or Chile.
I bet. Yeah.
And you know, one
Switch
thing
is
that's
already not cheap already. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting as well is that like, so I think some people were discussing and being like, oh, maybe it's they can't provide the phones for the event or something like that. But the PJCS, so that's the Japanese championships. Everyone had to play on their own phone, unless they were on stream, and then they'd get a provided phone. So that's already like a high tier event where they're expecting to put people to play on their own phone anyway. And I know TPCI don't particularly do that, but I mean, you got people qualifying using their own phone, so it's at least an option. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even know that. That's really good to know.
Yeah, if you watch the stream, there are some, and I noticed this because, of course, like we've developed GBLA for so many seasons. I noticed it, but some of the phones don't quite fit into the stream border, or they fit different ways, and I'm like, these are different devices, aren't they?
Yeah, some people battle on iPads.
That's Pataman,
Wait, what? Pataman battles on iPad?
Pataman, but I don't know what he battles on, but this guy's screen is like
it's the most notorious.
What?
Because his footage is like warped down to like super skinny. It's dude,
he would excel in
Anicor.
2019 Worlds, that Invitational with King IV and stuff. He was playing on standing, playing on an iPad.
Yeah.
He would have been grilling it back then. Yeah, that was the old mechanic too. Oh no, it was bubbles. I was gonna say. I was like, oh man, imagine like tapping like the expanded radius charge button, man, on an iPad standing. That'd be
bro, You know what I'm imagining is like, you know how like pro Smash players, they sometimes get that box where it's like it's like this large box with all the buttons in like really ergonomic areas, so it's like easy for them to hit in it. So I'm just imagining
Smash players do that. I didn't even know that was the thing.
Yeah. Pataman's just playing GBL like
seriously. Yeah, he's been killing it ever since I heard of him. But speaking of Pataman and other Worlds qualified people, let's talk about Worlds. I think before we get too deep into it, I think we got another DracoViz quiz, or I like to call it Draco quiz from PolymersUp. And as a refresher, the last time me and Speedy showed off against this, I took the win. I got the most amount of points there, so I'm ready to keep the crown for this one. You ready, Speedy?
Oh, dude, of course. I live and die by these bets.
You better not be pulling up a cheat sheet. I see your eyes wandering a little bit too.
I'm actually watching the PJCS over in this.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right, Polly. Let's go. We got a quiz, and hey, those listening, feel free to like guess along, write your responses down below too if you have any.
Yeah. Please do.
But yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. It's these questions are mostly based off of world qualifiers, and just highlighting, like a few of the players, more so just testing your knowledge of their performance and such. Okay.
Okay.
So here, let's okay. So all right. So I guess what we'll do is we'll alternate. So
Right.
I guess we'll start with one. I don't. You want to start with Speedy or Caleb, and then guess, and then opportunity to steal type of thing? Yeah. Does that sound
Sure.
Yeah,
okay?
sounds good.
All right.
You want to take the first one,
All right.
Speedy?
Yeah, let's start it off.
Okay. So let's see. I don't. Okay, let's see. Oops.
Dude, I will say the commercials on the PJCS stream were insane.
Oh my
Not to get off
days,
topic,
bro.
but they were.
Hey,
they were
commercials?
Dude,
Yeah,
have you
man.
seen the stream, Caleb? The commercials are wild.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I
gotta
think
get some
this
of
is the
those.
thing about like Japanese commercials in general, though. Like
Yeah.
they're usually so
They're, like,
like
over the
bizarre,
top.
and yeah.
Was it like a 90s commercials from back in the day?
Kinda, yeah.
Those commercials were wild too.
All right, sorry.
Okay.
Paul. We're ready.
No, that's fine. Yeah. All right. So this trainer attended 5 events this season in NA, and finished top 5 in 4 out of 5. And then who did we say was going first?
All right, so they attended 5 events and they finished top 5 in 4 out of 5.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, Speed, you go first.
NA.
All right.
And NA.
NA.
We
Yeah.
only get one guess?
Yep.
What would be the point if you got multiple?
Yeah.
Finished top 5
I'm glad I'm going second.
in 4 out of 5. I don't know. This I feel like there's a lot of candidates this could be. Dang it. This is either I feel like this is one of our usual suspects, the guys that we talk about all the time. Is this shoot. I have 2 people in mind. I'm just gonna say it's Badaj.
There's no way.
Nope. Yeah.
All right,
Nope.
let me
Okay.
think this through.
Yeah.
I have
Wadaj
2
is
people in
attended
mind.
more
All right,
than
Mr.
than
No
5,
Way.
yeah.
What is the answer?
No,
Yeah.
give me a second. Give me a second. Don't rush the genius here, right? It's Rise.
That's right. It is Rise. Rise.
Yeah,
Rise
let's
Asia.
go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
shoot.
got third in Arlington.
Uh-huh.
I think like tied for 5th or 6th in Orlando, and then he
Yeah,
got first
5th,
in
yeah.
Knoxville. He didn't make Top Cut Milwaukee, and he got second in NAIC.
Nice work, man. Yeah,
Yep.
that was a good one.
I'm like a
Yep.
I'm like a historical savant for just Pokemon Go.
I was gonna say, yeah. That was off the dome too. I saw
If
it.
I get Alzheimer's one day, I'm gonna be just rattling off these numbers in my 90s. Like, yo, last week, yeah, Rise just won Knoxville, right?
Go to bed, Grandpa.
Yeah, 90% win rate. That was the first we've seen in North America.
Exactly. Nice. Well done.
All right.
Okay. This is I'll go ahead and do this one. This is one that I thought was interesting. It came up as I was looking ahead. So this person did not attend NAIC, but prior to NAIC, they made top 8 in both events that they attended. They did not qualify for Worlds. This is also NA.
They've only attended 2 events.
2 events, did not make it to NAIC. This is a tough one. This maybe should have been the last one, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Are you going first on this one again, Speedy?
Yeah, I can go first again. I'm just trying to think because I had one person in mind, but he was also at NAIC.
Oh, maybe I should go first. We'll alternate.
Oh yeah, go
I
ahead.
feel like it might be easier going second on this one too.
Could be.
Man, they made top cut twice, but did not. I only attended 2 regionals. Whoa.
And didn't even compete at NAIC, which is
did
another
not
thing.
make it to NAIC. Yeah.
Yeah, my guess would have been Onion Frank because he top cut twice, but he was at NAIC, so it can't be him.
He's gone to way more than 2 events too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
wow,
only
that's a
gone to 2
heartbreaker.
events. I hope everybody's commenting what they think it is.
Okay, I'm gonna just throw this out there. I have no idea. Is it Skeptical Tracer?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh my
Is it?
gosh! I
What
told
the
you,
heck?
man. I'm correct. I'm
What?
correct. He got his second appearance was at it was at Charlotte. He lost to Auburn in like maybe top 4, and
What in the
then
Yeah.
world?
yeah, he filled with
Yeah, it
us,
was fourth.
and then
Yeah.
he came in from the winners bracket, and then I remember not recognizing him very much. And I remember someone said like I think maybe in Poly, he was like, oh yeah, no, he top cut at a previous regional as well.
Yeah.
The only other one he went to. I was like, oh, that's a good name to keep track of. What was it like? It's probably Peoria, right? If I was guessing, or
It
was
one of the
Baltimore,
really early
actually.
ones.
Baltimore.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was Baltimore. Yeah.
Oh, that's early. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish he would have gotten another
remember it's early one.
opportunity like later in the
Yeah.
season because it was
He's
really
been killing
impressive.
it in GBL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, I never really heard of him before that, but
That's wild.
speaking of killing it, I'm killing this Draco quiz too. All right, I'm ready for the next one. Let's go. You're up first, Speedy.
All right. It can't get any more difficult than it has been, right, Polly? Right? Right?
Yeah, that should be a double
Can't
Jeopardy
possibly.
Can't possibly. Okay.
Okay. So I was playing around with the wording of this question. All right. There are 2 players from EU that top cut in NA events. Can you name both of them? And I'm not going to say if you got one right and one wrong.
You just say if you got at least one.
2
wrong.
EU players that top cut at NA events.
I have one of them. I'm trying to think of the other.
There's only 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Top cut made day 2 from EU. Flew over to the US.
They could have took a boat. A long cruise ship.
Submarine.
That might be a little too soon.
I know it's not Nexus Ilya, and also shout out to Nexus Ilya.
He did come over to compete.
He did, and he dunked on Ryan Swag in game 1, and then got overconfident, and things did not pan out games 2 and 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's my friend Martine. I don't think it was him that top cut, but I do have one in mind. Shoot, I'm trying to think of another one. Came over from Europe, top cut. No hints, right, Polly? No hints. Any lifelines?
Yeah, you could call me and just pass the question on to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's covered.
Dang it! But the thing is, if I only answer one, then I already give Caleb one.
You could just pass if you only know one, and maybe you could try to get one off of the one I got. Maybe I got the missing piece here.
After the last 2 questions, do I for a second think that you don't already know this? Come on, are you kidding me?
It's the risk you take every time you wager with me.
Exactly, right? I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna throw it out. I think it's Bibalicious is one of them. The other one is shoot. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've drugged this on long enough. I don't know. I'm just gonna say inadequate, although I know it's not him.
Oh, dude.
It is inadequate.
It was.
Yeah.
Is it really?
He got top cut offer. You were commentating that one. He lost to Hot Pocket.
That's
The
why.
Bastion
That's why you
got
guys
locked
both
in.
got so quiet. You guys
Yeah,
got
I was
really
like,
inadequates.
the problem is like, if there were other Europeans you could guess, I would have
I
felt better. But I was
know.
like, dude, you're just gonna say Martine because there's no one else to guess. Yeah, no, he got. Remember, he got his Charizard locked into Hot Pocket's Bastiodon.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
And like a throwback
Nice.
to the last episode where we were discussing the players who went 4 for 4. Inadequates is now the only player
That
who
hasn't
is
missed
4
Top
for
Cut.
4. Yeah.
What?
He also hasn't missed Top Cut this season.
I think maybe there's some 3 for 3 though. There's still like
True.
Jeffy,
Yeah. There might be. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Skeptor Tracer's 2 for 2, right? So there's also that. Yeah.
Yeah. Stark's
I guess
also
for at
2
least
for
4.
2
Yeah.
after NAIC. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
All right. On the board. Man, when I
On
heard
the
that question, I
board.
was like,
What's the score now?
He's like, 2-1 me.
2 to.
Yo, Speedy wanted more hints. He's like, can I get a hint? I was like, one more hint.
Trying to get a lifeline.
Yeah.
That's my final answer.
Yeah. Your options: Nexus, Ilya, Bibelicious, and Inadequates.
Ended up getting the point.
I thought you were gonna pass. I was just hoping like I'm just gonna pass. I'm not gonna guess Marta. I was like, please.
Dude, of course you knew the answer, man. You think I'm that much
You
of an
commented
idiot?
that tournament. I just competed. I didn't even comment. Don't tell me you commented his specific match for his hotback on day 2. That
It all runs
You know what?
together
I'm
after
actually
a
gonna
while.
check.
Yeah, check. Yeah, was it Speedy and Butters commentating the Martine and Hot Pocket matchup? Because that'd be even funnier.
Okay. Whose turn is it now?
My turn. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 2 people qualified for Worlds this season, running Chestnut. Can you name both of them?
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Dude, I know like what regions they're from. I just don't know their names.
Oh.
There's
Can
I
I
don't
just
know
say
their names.
Speedy did commentate that match?
Commentated him in the top 4 match on day 2.
You're
at
the best,
Hartford.
Martine. You're the best.
Yeah.
Also, Hot Pocket, I'm still disappointed you played Bastiodon, but it's fine.
Yeah, he had that Charm A9 team too.
It's
Yeah,
fast
I'm
and
I'm
safe.
I'm gonna pass it to Speedy because I know exactly the regions. I don't know their names.
Can I get half credit, Polly?
Well, what do you mean? If you can't get
Fine.
half credit, if I can't get half credit, you need to go for names. If you can't do names, then we put the half
All right.
credit on the table for both of us.
All right, so here's my case, right? It was I believe it was the runner-up in the PJCS, and it was Paulinho from Brazil who ran the Chestnuts.
That is spot on.
I just don't know the name from the runner-up in PJCS, so I don't know.
I mean, you can give him half a point if you want. He's not going to beat me with half a point. So
all right, we'll give Speedy half a point. That was a valiant
Yeah.
effort. It's Ishikawa boy.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Ah, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
yeah,
moment
yeah,
he said
yeah.
it, I was like, yeah. I actually
Yeah.
couldn't think of Paulinho Tad's name too, but I remember his
Yeah.
team. It was like a Shadow Charm A9.
Yeah, dude, it was
and,
weird.
like, yeah,
I had to dig deep for that
that's
one.
cool. yeah. Searching your Google Doc while I was trying to figure out the answer.
Dude,
huh?
if I was using my Google Doc, I'd have all the right
you got
answers. man.
PJCS open right now on your computer.
Dude, this stream is 9 hours long. You would know if you actually watched it.
I mean, fair.
All right, let's keep them coming, Polly. What you got?
All right,
All
you're
right.
first on this one.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's tough.
This is.
The story of a girl.
What's the score right now?
2 to 1.5. Yeah, dude, this is a great refresher for Worlds too. By the way,
It really is.
and I see Paulinho Tad on while commentating. I'm like, yo, this is the Chestnut guy.
Yeah.
First Ishikawa boy.
Yeah, Ishikawa boy. You could comment a lot on his team because he had like
Yeah,
the
he
Vigoroth and the Kofa
Dude.
too.
Yeah.
And
I
the
don't know
Dragonite,
if
right?
any of
Dragonite,
his-
Shadow Dragonite too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have any?
Whole
Wait, did he
team
have
was-
any Pokemon in the top 12 usage?
I don't know, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Registeel.
He had
Oh,
Reggie and Lant. Yeah. Reggie
I have a pop
McMahon.
quiz for all of you. I'm going to turn the tables around here. Here's a pop quiz. What was Ishikawa Boy's moveset on Registeel?
This man has a stream pulled up right now.
I was watching the stream last night and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
So it's probably not Zap Cannon Focus Blast, huh?
I know. The way the question was phrased.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has to be the other one.
The other one.
All right, I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna go wild here. It seems unlikely. I'm gonna go Hyper Beam Focus Blast.
No, unfortunately.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal Anicor's answer too.
What do you say?
Isn't that what you said? Isn't that what you said?
Well, no, I said Zap Cannon, Flash Cannon, but like maybe it's.
No. I would say Blast,
because otherwise you get Wolf
Flash Cannon.
And Anicor was right. Anicor was right. Flash Cannon, Zap Cannon.
Okay.
Double cannon.
Wow, that's really interesting.
There's not a lot of Registeel or G-Fist in the meta, right? So
I mean, there's hardly none. Yeah.
This is actually a very familiar situation. Caleb, he ran into a Shadow Lowland Sandslash from Pokemichi in the finals, and his Registeel could do nothing. He could only Zap Cannon. He was stuck.
Can't you just throw Flash Cannon? Like, doesn't that do almost enough? It's neutral.
Yeah, it's just
How much?
I guess you're not threatening because they also knew all the movesets as well beforehand.
Yeah.
So,
true. He's never going to shield. He's never going to shield. He's never going to shield. Yeah. And if you don't have that, you can't lock on down. Yeah. That's a good point.
So actually, an interesting thing about Ishikawa Boy, he's like, so he's a very well-known Japanese streamer and also well-known for like using Spice Pokemon. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, right, 1 or 2 of his picks on the team were voted on by his fans.
No way!
So
what?
I think the
man, that's so cool.
It's going to be like Gengar.
What a flex!
Like that. Yeah.
Dude, I'm giving no one that power.
That's such a cool anecdote. Yeah, I did not know that. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's like what we're about to do, Speedy, when you compete in your first regional. I'm pretty much picking your pick. I'm picking your pick, 6th pick.
I was going to say, I'm just inspired by Ishikawa Boy.
Yeah. Oh, so for a heads up, too, if you're curious, with Flash Cannon Registeel against a Shadow Lowland Sandslash, you lose all evens because Flash Cannon doesn't KO and you just get outpaced to the second charge move.
Dang it.
They just go straight drill run. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
All right. I think I derailed us there. I'm sorry, guys. Keep going.
Let's see. What's the score right now? Actually,
2 to 1.5. Speedy's up first for this question. Yeah.
And this is the 5th question. We might make this the last one if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. Can we answer at the same time then? I feel like the
buzzer
beater.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit mute on Caleb's microphone. Can I do that?
I don't know. I thought I had admin access.
I think you do, yeah.
I'm just gonna you could say whatever, Speedy. I'll just like edit you out in post-production.
I
won't even know you're gone, right? I'll just like splice everything. In fact, if I lose this whole quiz segment, I'm just gonna cut this past 30 minutes out.
Dude, just like your YouTube videos, man. At least you're consistent.
That's right. Yeah. How else would I maintain my 97% win rate in GBL?
Okay. All right. All right, I think I'm trying to think of what would be the best tiebreaker question or like final question. Okay, I think this might be. Yeah.
Those at home don't know, but if you're watching a YouTube version, Polly's out in the woods, so his questions are written on like a cave wall. He's trying to find the right one.
I'm just trying to figure out because I have a few options.
He's got like a hieroglyphic alphabet that he wrote. And he's like, wait, what does this symbol mean again?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So good.
I know, right? Polly, you're the best, man. Don't ever change.
Okay. All right. So there were 42 in the final stage of the World Qualifiers last season.
Okay.
So like 42 people qualified for Worlds that played at Worlds?
Right.
Okay.
In Masters Division last season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So including Dancing Rob and Me Weedle, how many return
God.
world
For this one?
qualifiers do we have?
So
There's
like
a lot.
like 2-time worlds qualifiers essentially.
Yeah, how many people in that final stage, that top 42, are
only Masters, right?
like qualified again this year? Yeah, but we'll include Dancing Rob and Me Weedle. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean Dancing Rob, of course, but Emmy Weedle is.
He was the other division.
Yeah,
right?
he was other division.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
was
curious,
senior
do they have to have
division,
turned up?
but well, I mean, I can just subtract one. It doesn't really matter. You know,
Okay.
I guess we'll just include him though because I think
Okay,
it makes sense to. So,
Right.
so we're including Me Weedle and Dancing
Ooh.
Rob both. So,
Right.
yeah.
Do they have to have
Yeah,
attended London? Or do they have to have just qualified?
Yeah, well, that's a great clarifying question.
Because some people didn't attend.
Actually attended, right? We're one of the 42.
Yes, attended. Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
We're one of the. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not cross referencing, not double qualifiers, but I'm saying that we're in the final stage at Worlds and qualified again this season, and presumably would go this season again. Basically, like who's someone that we'll see again potentially this season on the world stage again in Masters
I'm
Division.
gonna type this out because.
Dude,
I'm about to type in this. I'm about to type in the spreadsheet that you're sharing with me, Speedy.
Is note taking allowed here? Is that part of this?
Yeah, we can take
notes.
What?
We can take notes. Okay, I'm gonna type out all the names I can remember then.
Yeah. Type out the names. We got time. This is the last question. I thought it'd be good to stop at 5 because this has been fun, you know. But
yeah, wow, this is a good one. Oh wait, no, that person didn't even make it.
This is a tough one.
Is it? I mean, I think it'll be hard to get on the dot, right? It's just whoever gets closer.
Yeah, just the sheer volume of names.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. At least players are consistent.
Question, though.
Yeah. Any returning Worlds qualifiers?
Yeah. Huh.
Actually, I don't know if this guy actually qualified this season. Now that I think about it.
This is
this season? You're not sure if he qualified again this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the competitors from Asia I'm thinking of.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Speedy, we're 2 days away from Worlds.
So are we just throwing a ballpark number out, or we have to have maybe we have to have the names in there, so we can't just like randomly round up, right? Since we're both typing out the names, right?
Yeah, we can do that. Do you want to? How many you can name? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. Let's do how many.
All right, I like that better. Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, because I don't know, man. Speedy might just add a couple.
Speedy good with that?
The right number.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right, let's see how many you can name. But all right, the trick is though that it's people that attended. Remember,
yes.
So
yeah.
Okay.
That is a good clarification. Ooh. The APAC ones are tough.
Yeah,
I wish I paid attention more.
You're right.
But maybe we should have a time limit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Think. Are you almost ready?
I got a question.
Yeah, sure.
If we're including Me Weedle, do you want to consider other senior world attendees
we can
as well?
Yeah.
Or
I
was including Me Weedle because he was an auto invite type of thing, and it made sense to.
We can include him. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
If Speedy is.
All right, so that's going to make the. Yeah, so that's going to make the list a little longer then. So anyone that attended Seniors Worlds that is in Masters Worlds this year now that's senior.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because that adds a few names. All right.
Yeah.
The kids are cracked, man.
The kids are very good.
They are.
They're so good at the game.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I think I'm mostly ready if you're ready. Oh, should we do this? You lose a point if you guess the wrong name.
Are
Come
you
on,
saying
guys,
continuing
man.
event
You
rules
can't
here?
you can't go like shotgun mode and just guess like 50 names,
All
right?
Well, let me think of a rule to invent so we can drag this out.
yeah. You got 1 second to invent.
That's not a bad idea. Otherwise, you just name
Yeah.
everybody, right?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so we're counting. This is points. You get a point for each name correct. You lose a point if you guess an incorrect name, and we
Yes.
see who has the most points.
Yes.
At the end.
Yeah.
Sure.
Should we do it? Should we go for it?
Sure. You go first.
Hey, go for it.
All right, I'll go first. All right. We got Crescent Angels, Dancing Rob, Emmy Weedle, EJB.
Let me actually hold on. Let me send this to
Anicor.
because I'm gonna need probably some help counting.
I feel like I can't physically name them all, but I think I've got a solid list.
I mean, to be fair, the list might be much more small than we think, right? Because only 42.
True.
Well, a little more than 42 if you count the seniors,
Yeah.
which is not a lot to be a two.
You got it, Anicor?
Let's see. Yeah.
So it's all the highlighted ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. We got Crescent Angels, Dancing Rob, Emmy Weedle, EJB, Lorgan Rocket, Axon, Doombug, Rise, Zardy, Patrick E. Albany. That's 10 so far. We got Dilap, Churn, Valiant Vish, Rick Flareon, Vonnie, Sadistan. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. I'm taking Vonnie off the list. Before I commit too far, I'm taking Vonnie off the list. Let me strike that from the record. Don't say if I'm correct or not, because maybe he is qualified, and Speedy might say it. But Valiant Vish, Rick Flareon,
Speedy's face right now.
Dude, like, come on. We lose the point for naming an incorrect name, but I'm going to take that back.
It's like I didn't take my finger off the chess piece yet. You know, I could be wrong, right? He might have still qualified. I'm just saying. All right. Valiant Vish, right? Rick Flareon, Sadistan, Burr Power, Wadaj, Hot Pocket, and Kimmy Sui. That's 17 for me. I'm sure I'm missing some. All right. Don't say if I'm correct on it or not. Go ahead, Speedy.
Say everything after Vish again, one more time.
Rick Flareon, Sadistan. Yeah. Valiant Vish, Rick Flareon, Sadistan, Bird Power, Wadaj, Hot Pocket, Kimmy Sui.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was 17 total. You
17 yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, Caleb, your list was very similar to mine. I didn't have Bird Power or Kimmy Sui. I actually forgot about those two, so I do apologize.
15.
The only other two names that I had on my list were Godon Hada and Inadequates. I don't know.
No, not Inadequates. I almost put him down too.
Sounds like a Caleb win.
Remember he lost to the Swana in last chance qualifier?
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. Oh my God, how can I forget that?
And then I remember Vonnie also went to London, but it was for last chance qualifier. He missed it too because Stone Collection and EJB that did it. So you could take a point off for my body work. Technically, I did say it, but I think I'm still.
I think Vonnie qualified this year. I think he did.
Yeah, but he didn't qualify last year.
Yeah.
He went for last chance.
Yep.
He missed.
Yeah, Vonnie didn't qualify or didn't attend for sure. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he also didn't qualify.
Yeah,
and
he was
then,
at last chance qualifier. I remember running into him. Yeah.
And then Godon Hada and Inadequates. Or also didn't Inadequates was last season, and then Godon Hada was this season. Yeah,
he didn't qualify this season. I remember I was looking for Godon Hada's name. Yeah. You don't
well, he didn't actually enter this season, so
he didn't even play.
That's right.
No, him and JB Yang both were just too busy. So,
dude, I think this is an undertold story, but I think it's really insane how close Godon Hada actually got. And I feel like people don't talk about that enough. Like everyone remembers the champion, right? But Godon Hada was like literally one Dragon Breath from knocking Rob out before the reset.
Yeah, before the reset. I thought he was about to win the first bracket. I was like, that's a wrap. There's no reset. Yeah, I don't even know how the reset happened. He was the only person that kind of really beat Crescent Angels too. The only game that Crescent Angel won was the one he caught a psychic on a 1 HP Sableye. That was the only game he won, right? Which is pretty impressive, but that's that's a hard. I mean, if that's your only win, that's a hard fought win, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so who am I missing off my list?
Yeah.
Out the 17.
Yeah, so you got 17, and there's 22 total. Yeah, so that's
a
pretty
lot
good.
more than I
Pretty
thought.
good rate.
6 more?
Yeah. Or
Help
5.
me, Anicor, if I'm getting this wrong, and the ones that he missed. I think he missed Kakazutoho, Luminous 0430,
Oh, I didn't realize Luminous competed last year too.
Yeah.
Zephymastix, Pokesquark.
Oh, Zephymastix. I forgot about that.
Squark.
Wait, who
I think
was
those are
the
the only ones that he missed.
Zephymastix and who was the other one?
Pokesquark.
Oh,
Okay.
but I didn't realize.
Oh, so you
Pokesquark
might have had
qualified.
18 then.
Okay, he did at Stuttgart. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second
Yeah.
by Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll concede the point here to Caleb. That was a really
Well,
impressive win.
actually, I think there's some. Because so you said like top 42, right? Would
Yes,
that mean that?
Yeah, these.
Because I think a couple of the names shouldn't be on there.
Well, this was. This is
basically,
in attendance, right?
Is this assuming that, or at least maybe you missed one? So there's Booty, the Korean player, who definitely
might have
got
missed.
to losers round 2.
Yes, I missed that one. Yeah.
So
No, that's a
maybe
good shout,
it's just
yeah.
that one, to be honest. Actually, yeah.
What was
maybe
the
it's just
name?
him.
Yeah.
Boutique.
Booty.
It's like BHUTTI or something like that.
Yeah,
BUHTTI.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah,
came
so 23
second
then.
in the he came second in the Korean qualifiers this year.
Wow. Okay, I didn't catch on to that. The first one was what, Kakarot, whatever. He was a Japanese player.
Kakuzutoho.
Yeah, Kakuzutoho.
Kakuzutoho.
So
that
Japanese
one?
player as well. Yeah.
Japanese player. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen them in GBL a lot. So.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're the ones who actually helped us gather all the PJCS. Helped us put that together. Awesome. Yeah. So.
Shout out to them. Yeah, the one player that did qualify last year but didn't go, but qualified again this year, to my knowledge, I'm sure there might be others, is Rob Drogo. I think he got sick or something.
Oh. Well, there's actually also Pokemichi, who qualified last year but didn't go.
Oh, really?
And then also, I didn't know this until literally like last week. Snots apparently qualified in seniors last year and didn't attend. Yeah.
I feel like I did hear about that. I don't know why. No.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
So those are some interesting ones, I guess. There might have been more as well in it, but I haven't actually double checked. Those are just off the top of my mind.
Yeah, we should try to put together a list of like double qualifiers, just not even just attending. Yeah. That was just
just in general,
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, just who earned it.
Yo. Shout out to Burr Pound Kimmy Sweet, man. The seniors division saved me there.
For real.
Actually, yeah.
or also the Swanna that faced Inadequates, I guess, could also save me. Some points off of Speedy's.
I remember after that, dude. I was like, I can't remember. I can't believe that I don't remember this stuff, because after that happened, I caught a really good ranked Shadow Swanna and I posted on Twitter, and I tagged Inadequates. I was like, is this good?
Oh man!
I think a bunch of people kept tagging him in the comments too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to forget that, but here we are a year later, still bringing it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Poor man.
Anyway, I know we're already over an hour at this point. Do you have to head out, Polly? Because if you do, we can start wrapping this up.
Yeah, I mean, we can chat a little bit, but yeah, I do have to go.
I was going to ask you all one.
I can also jump off.
Yeah.
First.
Well, I was going to say one last question for you all. Now that we've had everyone already qualified for Worlds and it's about to kick off in a day and a half or 2 days, or it's already happened if you listen to this podcast late. But either way, we don't know the results yet. Around the room, we 2-part question. From what region do you think the world champion will be from? And then even more specific, who do you think it'll be?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want to go first, Speedy?
we can allow our esteemed guests to go first.
All right. Take it away. Yeah. They're the data experts, right? They know.
Yeah.
Know. Okay.
Honestly,
I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm not gonna answer that question. Okay, honestly, I'm not gonna answer that question
What?
Because I don't think it's
Were you
possible.
from the future? Like
I will answer like a variation, yeah, and I'll give like maybe like one player from each region, yeah.
No. You did this last time. I
could-
remember
he
this.
did.
I was like, this.
Show us the newspaper, Anicor.
Yeah.
I'm also okay with that. Let's revise the question
on this. Like I'm so confused.
Let's revise the question.
What's happening? No, this is
I like
the T
that.
segment.
I like that.
This is the T segment.
The thing is, it's literally impossible, yeah. Because I would just be throwing out a random name. Because okay, look, we've got a top 32 this year. Yeah. So between day 1 and day 2, you're gonna have 32 people left. Yeah. Do you really think that you could, even when we get the top 32, do you really think that you could pick one of those and be like, yeah, that person's gonna win?
No. I think we'll all be wrong, but just imagine the flex, Anicor. If you guess the right person beforehand, out of all these people, that's the crazy. Like,
I think
no
you
one's
could
expecting
still
us to be right.
One per region. One per region.
No.
That's pretty
you
good.
get 4 guesses instead of 1, right? This is like.
I like Anicor's version of the question also because some regions have more total qualifiers, so you're more inclined
you got to factor that in for the final person, right?
No, but that's not fair to the regions with fewer qualifiers.
Either way, we should just get rid of the region question because if the player is going to be from the same region,
let's just do one per region.
No, let's just do one
I like
person,
that.
right? How about this? No, just imagine the flex, right? No one's expecting us to get this right, but imagine if one of us gets it right. That's
exactly.
Imagine
Anicor,
the street cred that you all have, right, dude? We're the data guys, and we predicted who was going to win the world.
Anicor, Poly, this is what it's like every week to work with Caleb. So
everyone's on the hot seat. There's no.
Everyone's on the hot seat.
We're sitting on a volcano here. I'm
true.
I'm the one. I'm about to erupt.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Jeffy.
Really? Okay.
Whoa.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, look. Okay, so we've got obviously, we've got the performance for everyone. We've got the performance in, actual like the regionals and stuff, right? And then we've got the recent like factions, worlds, and stuff to look at as well.
Mm-hmm.
As of this point, his team's doing really good. He's doing really well.
He beat Rice.
I don't know, man.
We're
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And again, in it, like I don't. Like I said, I don't think I can actually pick a player, yeah, because then other players come up. You know what I mean? In it, like Ladaj is on a tear right now, and like but I'll just sell him.
All right, I like it.
Just
the commitment
to keep you guys happy. Yeah.
All right, Paul, you're up next.
I don't want to do this.
My favorite. Come on.
I know where you live. In the forest.
In the woods.
The woods.
Yeah, we'll check on your cave walls what you wrote down as your prediction.
Oh man. Okay. I'm between two.
Yeah. Well, you can say both, but you gotta say one.
That's all right. Yeah. Just flip a coin.
Yeah. Maybe it's worse to say both and just say one, so that the other person doesn't feel bad that they came in second.
I mean, I could definitely name more than two. I'm just like, this is a difficult question. All right, if I had to pick one, so my thought process, the two people I'm debating between are Pokimichi and Wadaj, and Wadaj is, I feel like we said, he's just got so much momentum. He seems like really locked in right now. He did something no one else has ever done in the play circuit, which is win back-to-back events. And they were also both the largest event, the two largest events ever in NA.
True.
Like, yeah, he seems so locked in. And then Pokimichi, I'm thinking because coming out of PJCS, like that is such a gauntlet, right? And
Yeah. The best
He,
of ones. Oh my god.
yeah, just to get there, just to qualify for the tournament, and then you get there, and it's a massive tournament. I forget the number, but it was like what, like
Like
somewhere
140
around
or
like
something like that. Yeah.
40, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
146 maybe or something. Yeah. Um,
It's not small.
and then he swept that as well, if I remember correctly, right? And so like just to pull that off, um, clearly, has a really good feel for team building as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like came up with a very similar team to Paul Ash's team, just with like the Altaria instead of the Noctowl. But otherwise, yeah. So like I think, yeah, between those two is what I'm, and it's difficult because you look at Wadaj and they just have so much more like people from some regions have a lot more ability to attend a lot more events and showcase that like in a streamed event than some of the
True.
APAC events. I feel like I could also name, some, a lot more players from all regions, but it's difficult to compare. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with Pokimichi just because I figure one of you two is probably gonna say Wadaj, so I'm gonna go with Pokimichi.
All right,
Yeah,
Speedy.
All right, my four horsemen here are
Hey,
my
four.
four horsemen.
We,
Yeah,
we went
yeah.
from
We
one
had
to two
Anicor
to
go with
four.
the yeah. Come on now.
I'm gonna narrow it
Well,
down.
the top
I'm gonna narrow
32.
it down. Top 32 exactly. I'm gonna narrow it down. But I think
Yeah.
the four that have the best chance right now are Rise, Wadaj, Dunebug, and Kimisui.
Ooh,
I think those
you
are
got
the
the
four
NA
that are
bias.
probably the NA bias is strong over here. But I think
Yeah,
the one that's gonna pull through and win it all is Rise. I feel like Rise has gone through so many close calls. He's had a very emotional win, right, when he finally won his first regional this season, and then to come from the losers bracket, force the reset against Wadaj and almost beat him. He was one lick away, just like Godon
yeah,
Hada in Worlds. He was one fast move away from winning the game, and I feel like
yeah,
Rise is very very close, and I think that mentally he's more steady than Kimisui. I think that skill wise he's equivalent to Dunebug, and I think that skill stealing wise he's probably close to a Dodge. So I think that Rise has all the ingredients he needs to win it. We just hope that his mindset is like locked in and that he's confident, man,
Okay.
because he definitely should be confident. I hope he is.
yeah.
Well, I think
So
with
Rise,
Dodge,
that was your final? Yeah,
Rise is my
Rise,
final.
your top four. I
nice.
thought it
I
was gonna
like
be one
it.
from each region. They tend to be top four all from the same region.
all, all from NA.
Let's hear your top eight. Your top eight, Caleb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, so I was gonna say I think with Dodge winning it would be like an incredible storyline in
Yeah.
general.
yeah,
But this is some tough competition. Like even if you're a Dodge fan, like it is. I mean, you could be rooting for him, but I don't know if you would feel confident taking a bet on that, right, against all the competition. Honestly, before Speedy said anything, I was probably gonna go with either Pokimichi or Crescent Angels. I haven't seen Pokimichi play that much because obviously I haven't seen the PJCS stream yet, the 9-hour stream. But also, yeah, I just haven't seen him. He didn't compete last year at Worlds, but he qualified. But I'm thinking, yo, Crescent Angels was like, if you watch them at Worlds, didn't break a sweat, right? Like no
True.
emotion, like was just like going through it. Like I've never seen someone catch a move on a 1 HP Sableye and just like not flinch, right? I was like, is this guy AI or what? But
He's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So I was like, all right, so no Worlds nerves, right? And also in his home country, right? Definitely. And Pokemichi, you can say similar things.
yeah,
But then you mentioned your top four, and I was like, wait, Kimisui was pretty cracked. In Fort Wayne, incredible. But even in Milwaukee,
Incredible.
like even a game
yeah,
where he looked like he was like supposed to lose, still found a win con. Like I saw him make a misplay and still find a win con. Like his ability to find win cons and like just react and catch like one off of like one turn fast moves, it's just like crazy. He's catching like Registeel moves all the time. It's crazy.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. I was looking at him as being my number one, but then I thought about his matchup against Balk in the finals, and he almost was our first person to come from the losers bracket in day 2 and win it all. But I think
outside of EJP in North America,
true.
Yeah,
You're
Europeans
right.
love to kill us on that one. That's that line.
They do,
which is fair. Which is fair because we got that NA bias.
It's strong, yeah. But you're right.
Yeah,
I need to remember that.
I know it's strong in you for sure.
Because EJB is the main too, right? Yeah. But I thought about it, and I think that Balk just had the technical skill and was able to keep Kimmy at arm's length long enough to win the series, and he just kind of outlasted him mentally. You could see Kimmy Sui making a couple of mistakes here and there. Wasn't quite as comfortable.
Sui was battling all day. That's why you got to reset.
That's true. That's true, right? But Balk was very impressive too. So I feel like
how come you didn't put
Rise? I feel like Rise has been much more consistent. Rise is way more consistent.
Kimmy Sui attended 2 tournaments. Look, I'm telling you, savant right here. 2 tournaments this year. First place Fort Wayne, second place Milwaukee, and most importantly, in Milwaukee, Rise was there as well, and they were both in the same bracket with Bulk, with like Enhoff, with Leo Geo, with Keen Bart, which is crazy. That was all one bracket, and the 2 that made it out was Kimmy Sui and Bulk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know consistency. I mean, you're averaging first and second place. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. You can say Fort Wayne maybe it's a fluke, but he was in a pretty stacked bracket in Milwaukee. Yeah, I'm going with Kimmy Sui. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Yeah, I think there's a high chance that all of us are wrong. Actually, I feel like there's a small chance one of us is right. Yeah. I mean, out of these are 4 some pretty prominent battlers, but again, there's a whole.
I wouldn't put real money on anything.
I'll take some Monopoly money at best. But
well, we did also name 8 people between the 4 of us for a question that only required 1 each. So we doubled our odds at least.
That's correct.
But anyway, for those that have watched Worlds already, let us know, how well we did. I'm sure the first episode back after Japan will definitely cover it, and I'm like, see what I mean, Speedy? I told you so, right? Kimmy Sui is going to take it all. But I also caught this on Twitter. He's already been at Japan for like over a week.
Bro.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, he got the dates wrong. Is that why?
No.
I was like, that'd be best. I was like, dude, I'm gonna change my answer real quick. He's not even gonna be there. He's gonna be a no-show. First round bye for someone else. Yeah,
he's already paid for a hotel for all these weeks, and he's like, I can't keep paying for hotels.
This travel board can't sustain me. Anyway, so he's already there. He's already accustomed to like no jet lag going into Worlds. He's good to go.
Yeah, true.
He's young. He's he's on vacation. No stress.
Moisturized in his lane.
Moisturized. I mean, in Japan, it's gonna be real humid. I'm sure everyone's gonna be moisturized. That's not the problem. But anyway, all right. Well, I like it. I'm glad that I know it's uncomfortable, but we made you all commit to one answer, which is what we do here at the Battlecast podcast. Anyway. Thank you for joining us on the second appearance and for being our stand-in episode before Worlds. I'm very excited to see what happens, and I mean honestly, this time when the episode drops, like Anicor might be there. You're gonna be in Japan too, right? So we'll be able to see you there and stuff. So it'll be good. We could talk about we could put some real money on this in person.
We need some DracoViz business cards.
Yeah. I'm right. We're changing DracoViz to Dracometrics.
Bro, I'm gonna come back to Japan a broken man, like guys.
He's gonna know what Speedy feels like.
Yeah, all the time. Don't let him take your beard, Anicor. Don't let him do it.
That is true.
Both of you gonna come back without beards. Anyway, for those that aren't following you all too, where's the best place for people to follow DracoViz? And I'm sure it's really important for people to follow DracoViz right now because I'm sure this time, we might be sharing some drinks, myself, Speedy, and Anicor, and Polly's gonna be hard at work in the woods, cranking out these graphics all night long.
True.
12-hour time zone difference. But yeah, where can people find you all?
Bang on that,
Oh man.
Yeah.
You can find us at DracoViz on Twitter, at _DracoViz on Instagram and Threads, and one of the best places to find all our content is DracoViz.com. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did I miss
Nice.
anything,
Yeah.
Anicor?
Also, we've over this last month, we've been doing a Twitter Space podcast that you guys can listen back to, focusing on specific regions for each episode. So I think it's a good like precursor to Worlds, where you can get a real idea of what every competitor has achieved and what they're potentially capable of going into it. And then also, next week we'll be doing a live in Yokohama Twitter Spaces with some members of the community. So that should be kind of fun. It will be after Worlds as well, so we'll be looking back on what happened with some live guests. So that should be kind of fun.
That's awesome. Are you going to be at GoFest in Osaka as well?
Yeah.
Nice. I think if I'm not mistaken, Carbink will be spawning in raids or in quests and stuff. So, dude, I mean, we talk about next season for the schedule and stuff, but dude, let's talk about that. That meta is going to be what? It's going to be Carbink mirrors all
we
day
really
long.
need to leave that discussion as long as possible. And it's not really
I'm around September,
really something we want to engage in yet.
Bastion
Let's
does
just enjoy
Carbink,
this period
so.
for now. Just enjoy this pre-carving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's the new Carbink. Caleb's definitely got a few lines or teams, I'm sure.
Like, ABB Carbink Bastion. Can't get shield advantage anywhere if I lose lead. Anyway, thank you both for joining. Appreciate you all taking time. I know it's like 6 a.m. for like Anicor and Poly's already trained all his.
It's pretty good at the moment.
Okay, not
too
bad.
Daylight now. Yeah.
Appreciate Poly being outside and using his battery life for the day before he needs to solar panel charge the rest of his
It's even going to make it out of the woods.
But yeah, and you mentioned Twitter Space too. This is something I'm offhanded maybe mentioned to Poly, but I was like, dude, you all can start your own podcast too if you want. It might not be the worst idea. I mean, there's pros and cons, right? Because Twitter Spaces, you can just get people to hop in and share their feedback and comment stuff. But podcast is a little bit harder for that. But hey, man, I'd be down. I'd be down to throw another podcast on the rotation to listen to. It could be fun. So we'll see. So anyway, if you all need help with that, just hit me up. But thank you all for joining. Best of luck for those competing at Worlds, especially Kimmy Sui. I got my Monopoly money on you.
There it is.
But we'll see how it goes. But for those that aren't competing at Worlds or aren't there, make sure you tune in. It'll be going live probably 9 a.m. Japan time. So I guess it's not too bad for like you, Poly, right? Because like about 12-hour difference. You probably just stay up like it's like about like 9 to like 2 a.m. or something for you, right? That's like your prime time, free time anyway. Yeah.
It is 9 hours.
Yeah. I talked to him just as late, and I'm on the West Coast these days compared to when I was East Coast. So. But anyway, be sure to tune in, and we'll catch you all next time. Peace out.